about Leonardo Fibonacci and his discovery. Similarly, as in the first lesson where shortly I described you the creator of the wave theory, I would like to tell you something about the next person from which we will take the useful knowledge from. Leonardo Fibonacci came from Pisa and lived in the 13th century. Although Leonardo Fibonacci was the most prominent mathematician of the Middle Ages, currently we have only his monument which stays near to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The ignorance of the world of science is confusing to me, for what this great scientist brought into the mathematics. Father of Leonardo Fibonacci was a mathematician. It was obvious that his son would learn from his father. When Leonardo finished his education at his side, he began to travel. After one trip to Egypt, he published his work titled Liber Abaci. His work introduced in Europe one of the greatest mathematical discoveries that is used today. This is the decimal system. Thanks to the work of Fibonacci, who in his book described the use of the abacus during the Arabic system, he overcame the difficulties that the Roman system entailed. Fibonacci not only revived this way of mathematics in the Middle Ages, but also laid the foundations for the development of mathematical theories and the related fields of physics or astronomy. Without a doubt, we can say that he was one of the most important figures of his time. He was even paid a visit by King Frederick II, who later even invited him to his court. Of course, the Liber Abaci is not the only work that this great mathematician created. We will not discuss all of his works. Our attention will be focused on the so-called Fibonacci sequence of numbers, of which Eliot himself was a practitioner. The sequence of Fibonacci numbers. In this work, which we already mentioned, Liber Abaci, a problem is given that gives the beginning to a sequence of numbers to infinity. The string is what we call a sequence of Fibonacci numbers. Here is the problem of Fibonacci that is introduced. How many pairs of the rabbits will be born within 1 year, starting from a single pair, if each couple after a month gives birth to only one pair? This is the rabbit's family tree. The diagram shows the family tree of the rabbits with a logarithmic acceleration. If such a sequence ran for several years, the number would become astronomical. However, the sequence of these numbers have itself very interesting properties. The string has a nearly constant relation between their elements. For example, the sum of any number within the sequence is the next number in the sequence. Example, 1 plus 1 equals 2, or 3 plus 5 equals 8. After the first few numbers of the ratio of two successive elements of the sequence is approximately 1.618, or reverse, 0.618. Such a ratio Fibonacci called phi. The number the higher the closer the coefficient to these values. What is interesting, the ratio of numbers separated by two positions of the 2.618, or the inverse of 0.382. Phi is also the only number which added to the 1 gives its inverse. There are many dependencies between the Fibonacci numbers. Unfortunately, we will not dive into his theory. We will proceed to the analyses of the properties based in the Fibo.